Alright, TNA fans, this is part 2 of my TNA Impact Live 3-hour review. Second time I record this video, YouTube's already starting with its garbage. So, where did I leave off? I left off in the first video with the Pope D'Angelo Dinero being interrupted by Orlando Jordan, making his TNA debut. Great young talent from the WWE a couple years back. I really liked his in-ring ability, didn't like his character in the WWE, but I think he's a great acquisition for TNA because TNA has shown that they could take WWE stars who were not properly used and make stars out of them. So that's good. And also, the Pope D'Angelo Dinero and Desmond Wolfe was a great match. A little short, but it was a great match. Exciting, back and forth action, and you know it's going to set up a feud that's heading into the pay-per-view. Um, from there, I'm just going to talk about the Hulk Hogan arrival right off the bat. I mean, this was epic. I have never seen a pop like this. But first of all, you know if you watch wrestling that WWE sells out the big arenas. Talking about 60,000 plus fans, right? TNA's Impact Zone only holds, about 1,000, if even that. The pop in this Impact Zone with Hulk Hogan walked out dwarfs the pops that I've heard in those sold out arenas for John Cena and for whoever. Hogan walks out, new music, and everybody is just going nuts, man. The only time I've ever heard a pop anywhere near that was when Sting debuted on TNA Impact in 2005, 2006, whenever it was. This was huge. He comes out. By the time that Hogan comes out, Scott Hall and Sean Waltman are already in the audience. So they see each other. They give each other a little NWO sign. Hogan walks to the ring. Hogan starts cutting a promo, talking about how TNA is gonna be the #1 sports entertainment company. They got the best young talent. They got some old veterans in the back too that are ready to go. We're ready to get going. And as he's talking, Sean Waltman, I'm just calling him Six and Scott Hall jump over the rail. Security tries to hold him back, and Hogan's like, no. Those guys got something to say. Give him a mic. Get him in the ring. They come in the ring. As soon as Scott Hall comes in the ring, man, the fans are going crazy because he gives them the classic, "Hey yo," and he tells Hogan, "Say hello to the bad guy." Everybody went crazy for that, man. And that took me back. I'm like, man, we got Hogan, Six, and Hall in the same ring. Core members of the original NWO for the first time in the same ring. For the first time that's mattered in the ring in years, man. This is awesome. So they're in the ring, they're cutting the promo. Scott Hall and Six are telling Hogan that, hey, look, man, when we heard that you were here, and we heard that Nash was here, and we heard that TNA's where it's at, yo, we had to come because that means nothing but parties, sold out arenas, and big paychecks to us. And Hogan's like, it's a different time, it's a different day, it's not going down like that. You need to grow up, we need to do the right thing for the business. Scott Hall and Six aren't feeling it, they get angry, there starts to be a confrontation. Kevin Nash's music hits. So now you got the original Wolfpack in the ring. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Six. And the original leader of the original NWO, Hulk Hogan, all in the ring in the first time in God knows how many years, man. Goosebumps just going through me and through every real wrestling fan that's watching this, man. And Nash comes out. He gives the NWO sign to all of them, gives them hugs. And then he tells them, hey, look, guys, Hogan's got a role to play tonight. Just let him play it. He's saying, Hogan's got to talk all political and all right for the crowd and for Dixie Carter, but he's with us. Chill. And then Hogan's like, no, it's not a role. This is the way it is. It's a different day, and you guys need to do this for real. So Nash gets angry, and Nash is like, well, I've been talking to you on the phone for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and that's not the conversation we've been having. When did you get so corporate? And then Hogan gets angry. He's like, it's not about being corporate. You guys are my brothers for life, but you need to be in this for real. It's time to grow up. Everybody's got to earn their spot. All of a sudden, they get mad. Scott Hall looks like he's going to swing on him, and all of a sudden you hear more music hit. And now Eric Bischoff comes out. So you got the original NWO period in the ring. And Bischoff starts talking about how, hey guys, it brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? It feels familiar, right? I'm the one that put the original band together, so I got a little bit of experience. Let me tell you, man, the main thing is communication. And there's been a big breakdown in communication. And, Six is like, well, explain it to me, Eric. And he's like, what Hogan is trying to say is that everybody, and then he gives him this little funny face, everybody has to earn their spot again. And then when he said that, Kevin Nash was like, Eric, read you loud and clear. Talk to you later. And they all left the ring. And then you just got Bischoff and Hogan in there. So that was kind of weird. Was he sending him a sign or was Nash just, talking out of his ass? We don't know. But whatever. Then you got Hogan and Bischoff, the original team that took the WCW to the top over the WWE back in the 90s, in the ring, cutting a promo together. And talking about how they're going to take TNA to the top, how the young talent is amazing, how we're going to flip this company upside down starting right here tonight. And Bischoff says that. He's like, as a matter of fact, let me see the format. Let me see the format for tonight. So they bring him the format, which is probably what we all read online the other day, trying to see what was going to be on the show. And he's like, you see this? There's nothing wrong with this. You guys get an A for effort, but you know what? Like Hogan said, we're starting over, and he rips up the format. And he brings out his own format, and he gives it to SoCal Val, and he tells us, give this to the directors. We're doing this live. This is what I love. This is the type of stuff you can do on a live show. This is why WCW Nitro used to beat the crap out of WWE Raw. Because Raw was taped, and it was easy to find out what was going to happen, and you couldn't change or deviate from what you had recorded. But when it comes to a live broadcast like Nitro used to be, or like this Impact was, it's unpredictable, and you can flip the script at any given moment. So it was awesome. And as he's saying that, Hogan and Bischoff are saying, you know what? Everybody has to earn their spot. We don't care if you're the janitor, if you're the cameraman, or if you're the world champion. Everybody's got to start over and earn their spot in this company. And as he's saying that, this is what topped off the night for me. The camera looks up into the rafters, and there we have the icon Sting with his baseball bat, just standing and watching Hogan and Bischoff, man. And it's like back in the day, baby. It's like WCW NWO all over again. You got Sting with a white and black face paint and that serious, just soulless look, staring down at the ring, watching Hogan and Bischoff. And you could just imagine his thoughts, like, it's happening again. I'm going to have to take them all out again. It's awesome, man. So that was great, man. That was great. What else did you have in the night? You had a first ever meeting of Samoa Joe, who I can't stand, and Abyss, who is one of Hogan's favorites from what I read in a recent article. And because of that match was really good. It was really physical. Excuse me, let me just get this right quick. It was really good, really physical match, but Hogan and Bischoff put that together, and you had Samoa Joe get the win, which I did not like, but what I did like was that he had to cheat to get the win. He had to hit Abyss with the chair and then put him in the Katina clutch because he couldn't beat him on his own. Abyss was rocking his stuff too, man. So that was a really good match. What else did we have? We had new knockout tag champions as Hamada and Kong defeat Taylor Wilde and Sarita for the belts. That was a very good match, very good women's match. Taylor Wilde was probably the weakest one in the ring, and even she looked okay. Hamada and Kong win, which was really good. What else did we have? We had Eric Bischoff meet up with AJ Styles in the locker room and tell him how much of an honor it is to meet him and this and that. But he's got good news and bad news. AJ's all happy that Genesis pay-per-view is supposed to be Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles for the title. So Bischoff was like, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news, the bad news is this whole Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles for the belt at Genesis thing. That's not gonna happen. So AJ gets all angry and he's like, but the good news is that you're right. The world does deserve to know who's the best wrestler ever. And you know when they're going to find out? They're going to find out tonight. Because the main event tonight is the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle in that ring. So get ready, kid. You're on. And AJ just smiled and Bischoff walked away. So Bischoff and Hogan did it again. They said, bump waiting for the pay-per-view. This is live. Let's get it cracking tonight. Let's give them everything we got tonight. So you got a main event of Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles for the title. And let me just tell you, that main event was, it was at least 15 minutes long. It was a nice, long, action-packed, back-and-forth match. Each man hit his finisher 2 to 3 times and still couldn't pin the other one. Back-and-forth action, reversals, inside, outside. AJ looked great. Kurt Angle was the man. And then at the end of it, AJ finally won with a third Styles Clash and a second 450 splash off the ropes. And that's how he finally won. When he won, Hogan... and while that match was going on, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the review. I can't tell because I had to record this video a couple of times, so if I did, I'm sorry. Ric Flair was in the Impact Zone. So Ric Flair comes out to the ramp when he's watching these two young guns get it on the whole time, which was awesome. You just scouting them. You could tell that the Nature Boy was looking like, yo, this is where it's at. This is where the talent's at. And after the match, Hogan comes out, and he's like, you two are the best in the world. You guys are amazing. This is how it's going to be from now on, blah, 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 blah. And he's giving them both props, and AJ and Kurt Angle are hugging, giving each other respect. One of the security come and whispers something in Hogan's ear, and Hogan's got to run to the back because Mick Foley's in. Mick Foley's threatening Bischoff, and then the NWO jump Mick Foley. Scott Hall 6 and Kevin Nash beat the hell out of Foley. And then Hogan gets there in time to see it happening, and he's like, watching it like he's not a part of it, but he didn't stop it either. And then the camera just fades to black. So like I said, tremendous impact. 5 out of 5 stars. That main event was a 5-star match. The Desmond Pope D'Angelo De Niro match was a 4.5-star match. You had a great action, a lot of returns, a lot of debuts. TNA on the way to the top. God bless y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Later.